guys, what's up? It's Kiara here. Recently I have been getting a ton of comments on my YouTube channel or direct messages in my Instagram box from you guys asking what my life is like at the University of Oregon. And you have so many awesome questions that I thought it was about time for me to do a college Q&A. For all you guys who asked me questions, thank you guys so much. You had so many awesome questions and I'm gonna try to get through as many as I possibly can. Make sure that you are following me on my Instagram and Twitter. If you're not already, they're both at the KG Style, and that way you can stay updated whenever I have one of these Q&As. The reason why my background is so weird and kind of ugly is because I'm not home right now. I am in McCall, Idaho. Alright, the first question is, what time do college students wake up? I think it really depends on what time you have your class, because odds are you're gonna wake up like 15 minutes before class. I set an alarm around 8-ish to be downstairs to get breakfast by 8:30, and then I'll try to have like a productive morning. The next question is, what do I do on the days that I have class? Pretty much I'm just like go. Days that I have class, it's just a lot of school. Basically an overview is I'll wake up, I'll go downstairs, get breakfast, go to my first class, and if I'm already walking to that part of campus, then I'll just either stay down there and just wait till my next class, or usually I'll have class back to back and I'll have 10 minutes to walk from one class to the next, and then some point I'll have a break and I'll grab lunch, and then I'll go to like my final class of the day, and then I'll come back home, maybe chill for like an hour, and then I'll just hop right into studying, getting stuff done, getting ahead. That's like my number one thing. Can I do another morning routine? Yes, I've been meaning to do that, so stay tuned for that. My friend Grayson is asking, who do I miss most out of all my friends that are not going to U of O? Luckily, I'm really fortunate and I have a ton of friends that are going to U of O, but Grayson, yes, I obviously miss you, and Leah, and a bunch of other people. Oh, this is a really good question. What does a week schedule look like for you? Like, when do you wake up, classes, bedtime, etc.? How far do I walk for each class, and how big are my classes? Any jerk teachers? That's so many questions, but they're all really good. How big are my classes? I would say my classes are pretty big. Freshman and sophomore year, you're gonna have large lecture halls, but a lot of my classes come with a lab or a discussion section, and those will be smaller, so like 20 people, but the lectures, they probably range from anywhere about like 120 people to my chem class, which has 400 people. I was overwhelmed at first, but you get so used to it. How far do I walk for each class? My dorm building is at the end of campus, so I do walk pretty far. I would say I walk about 15 minutes to class and 15 minutes back, but then there's certain classes that I have to leave 20 minutes early. I don't know, it just depends how fast you can power walk. I'm really fast walker, so I can like book it in 10 minutes if I want, but I don't know, that's kind of exhausting. I go to bed at like midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, depending on how much work I have. I really don't go to bed anytime earlier than 12. It's just like doesn't happen. And then I usually don't wake up anytime before 8. So my weekly schedule, I'll just give you an overview of some of my classes. Monday I have Pilates at 9, and then I have Global Health and Development at noon, and then I'll go to my Chem lab. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays I have Chem at 11 a.m. and then Medical Terminology at 12, and then I have J100, which is like Media Professions at, oh gosh, I don't even know what time. Monday, Wednesday schedules are pretty similar, except for Wednesdays I have Chem lab from 4 to 7, and that is why my Wednesdays are death. My Fridays are pretty easy. I just have a discussion at 10 a.m. and then Chem at 11, and then I'm done. Ooh, next question is from Riley, and she's wondering, what are the dorms like? So I'm pretty fortunate. I live in the dorms, but I don't share like a communal bathroom because I have my own bathroom, which is super nice, but the dorms are super fun. There's definitely this whole, idea about the dorm experience, and it's very true. There's something like always happening on my floor, and I always run into people in the study room and in the lounge, and it's just really fun, and you really build connections with these people. So I love my floor. Everyone's super cool. Dorm life is pretty awesome. I definitely could see how you would get like sick of it, you know what I mean? I don't know, I love dorm life. I'm gonna be really sad to leave my dorm. Jake is wondering, what has been the hardest thing transitioning into college? Probably the hardest thing is when you go back home and you realize that the life that you had for so many years, it's never gonna be like that ever again. You're living out of a suitcase, you're seeing your friends for 2 days at most, and then you're back at school. And college is great too. I don't want to be all depressing or whatever, but it is sad, to me at least, when you go home and you realize things will never be the same. Okay, the next question. I applied as a human physiology major and was recently accepted. Congratulations. What is your schedule like since that's your major? So basically, human physiology has a 4-year plan for you, and you're going to start out by doing your chem sequence freshman year, your biology, maybe even physics second year, and then you'll go into the A&P, anatomy and physiology classes your junior and senior year. And there's a bunch of other like couple requirements that you need to satisfy, but that's the basic plan. So right now I'm obviously working on my chem sequence, and with that I'm concurrently taking chem lab, which is difficult. And right now I'm taking medical terminology, which is one of the electives for the human physiology major. Really fun class, but it is quite time consuming, especially because it's only 3 credits, not 4, so it's kind of annoying. For my other classes, I'm mostly just taking gen eds and trying to get those out of the way. So the next question is there anything I did not expect about college life? And probably the biggest thing for me was I did not expect to be studying like 24 hours of the day. I somehow had this thought that college you don't do homework, and that's totally a misconception. I feel like you have way more homework to do in college. Oh, and she also asked, did I always see myself going to the University of Oregon? If you asked me this question when I was 12, I would say yes, I always saw myself as being a duck. If you asked high school version of myself, I would have said no, I want to leave, I want to get out and go on some like crazy adventure, and I did not want to be a duck at all, and my mind quickly changed. I made a video all about college decisions, and you can watch it. I'll link it up here and down in the description box below. I think it's really helpful. The next question is, how quickly did I find friends in college? Pretty quickly, because I'm living in the dorms, and so I'm meeting lots of new people, and I feel like you become friends with the people who you live most with. And also, if you're in a sorority, you do make friends really quickly. I feel like there's so much pressure to meet so many people and have a bunch of new friends, but I don't know, I just have fun hanging out with the people who I hang out with, and I just go with the flow. The next question is, how was your rush experience, and do you have any tips for rushing and being in a sorority? That's a great question. I'm gonna make a video all about this just to like brush over it really quickly. My rush experience was good, long. It all worked out in the end because I knew it would, and I went through rush having like a really positive, resilient attitude, and I wasn't gonna let anything bother me or get me down if I got dropped from a house, and I think that was the way to do it. Stay tuned for a video on that. I actually vlogged for different parts of the rush experience, so I'm gonna include that in the video. Tara wants to know what my #1 tip for incoming freshmen is. My #1 tip is to be really flexible and open. I feel like college has provided a lot of interesting opportunities for me, and sometimes I just say yes just because you never know what's gonna come from an experience. So I've had a lot of cool opportunities to be a part of like Nike focus groups. I volunteered as a subject in a lab. So be open to those moments. Apply that to other areas of your college life too. The next question is, how do I balance my schoolwork, club sports, sorority, and friends? This is a really good question, and probably the only way I can get it done is by having good time management skills and by getting ahead. I feel like especially this winter term, I have written down things on my list and I will get them done for next week, and that way, as long as I will work for hours, I can use hanging out with friends or doing other things as a reward. Especially being on ski team, that just takes the chunk out of my weekends. Like I don't have weekends, I'm always traveling. Waking up in the morning and doing homework, not just, you know, sitting in bed for hours. Oh, Keegan has a really good question. How do you find time to film, and what is it like filming in a dorm? Do people at your school know about your channel, and are they supportive? This has been a really interesting experience because I was a little bit nervous about this at first. My roommate is really cool with it, and people on my floor know about it, and I'm sure hear me talking to myself a lot. I don't know what they think, but I don't really care. How do I find time to film? I just prioritize and I just make it happen, and I usually pick the video that I'm gonna film for that week based on how much time I have to film. Do people at my school know about my channel? Yes, I have gotten quite a few DMs from different people. I got introduced to someone's friend and she actually watched my videos, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Oh, Jan is wondering, have I declared my major or have I switched? I'm a human physiology major. However, something that's new that I haven't really talked to you guys about is that I am thinking about minoring or double majoring in, you know, PR, journalism, media studies, something along those lines. Obviously, I'm really into YouTube and photography, and I've been thinking about this a lot. I also have to remember that I've wanted to become like a doctor, nurse, whatever for years. I'm not quite ready to abandon that dream yet. My ideal situation would be like through my 20s, do something in PR, advertising, journalism, etc. I can get my fast track nursing degree in 16 months and become a nurse or whatever I want to do. That might be the hot setup. I don't know. Let's see what happens. I don't have that figured out yet. I live in Eugene and was born and raised here. What's your favorite thing about it that doesn't have anything anything to do with the University of Oregon? Well, I haven't got to explore too much because I don't have my car here, but I do take the bus a lot. But my favorite thing about Eugene, I don't know, it's really green. I got a chance to participate in a project where we were pulling ivy by the river, and I just think it's absolutely beautiful, especially when you get those sunny days. It's so fun, and walking to the college football games was a really great experience. The next question is, how am I liking being a part of my sorority, and how did I pick which one to join? I love being a part of my sorority. I am in Chi Omega, and I've met some amazing girls. I absolutely love my big Lucy. How did I pick which one? I don't know. I just like felt a connection on pref night. I'll talk about that later in my sorority video because it's a long story. The next question is, what courses do I take in high school if I want to major in human physiology? This is a great question. Definitely recommend getting college credit. Wish I got even more college credit when I was in high school, but calc is one of the requirements for the human physiology major. I took stats, really helpful, and you have to take biostats. Because I already took stats, biostats was like a joke. I'm hesitant about like taking the AP Chem or AP Bio to try to get out of it completely in college. I think you should take the college sequence there, and I would only take it as a way to get more knowledgeable and prepare yourself for those classes. I'm starting U of O next year. What are some of the best classes that I've taken so far? Congratulations on becoming a duck. That's so exciting. I'll see you around. Really enjoyed J100, which is the media professions class. Every single day they just come in with a new speaker. They talk about their life, how they were successful, and advice that they would give. I think it's a really helpful class. I also took medical anthropology fall term. It's a bit of a challenging class if you're like not on top of it and you don't want to study. Dr. Snodgrass is an amazing professor, and I really enjoyed his class. I just thought it was fascinating. Elle is wondering how much chemistry sucks. A lot. Yes, Elle, you know this. You're my study buddy. One little like side point, if you're thinking about majoring in human phys and if you're scared for chemistry, let me just say my opinion about something. If you want to major in human physiology just so you can declare your major, to make your parents happy or whatever because you think it sounds interesting, then human physiology might not be the major for you because it is a lot of work. Me, as someone who's wanted to become a doctor since she's 8 years old, has even questioned my presence in this major. They make chemistry a first-year class because they want to weed students out. If you are going into the major just because you gotta declare something because you feel like it'll be weird if I go in undeclared, then you're gonna want to drop out. I don't want to deter anyone from the human physiology major. It's an amazing program. It can be done. I got an A in chem. Like, it will work out if you want it, but you have to want it. What are the benefits and drawbacks to attending such a large school? The great thing about U of O, I think, is it's not like crazy large. I think of a large school as like UCLA, UW, like 50,000 people. U of O, I think, is 23,000 students. Are there large class sizes? Yes. Are you gonna have large class sizes at almost all universities? Yes. As you work your way up though into the upper division electives and you're there for a couple years or choose specific classes that you want to take, the classes are smaller. What is my workout routine in college? During the ski season, I've just told myself that as long as I'm skiing twice in a week, then I'm fine. Also, you know, you spend a lot of time walking to class, and that's a good workout. But there's also an amazing rec center, and I will go to the rec center with my really motivated sweet mate Rachel. This video is gonna be crazy long because I just had to restart the recording. Okay, the next question is, what is the weather like at the University of Oregon? Well, as you can guess, it's probably what you've imagined. It's pretty rainy outside. I've grown up in Oregon my entire life, so I'm used to the rain. I love the rain. The rain does not bother me, and I have a lot of friends that are from California, and they're doing fine. You know, I'm sure some people hate it. I don't know. Whenever you have a sunny day, it just makes it that much more beautiful. Are there plenty of healthy food options? Yes. There's lots of dining halls, lots of healthy food options, but I feel like no matter what, you're gonna get sick of the food. I am just like naturally a healthy eater. Salad bar at LSC is awesome. I have soups a lot when I'm sick of everything, and they make sushi fresh every single day at Global Scholars, which is where I live. Is the party scene really huge? I don't know, because I don't really have much to compare it to. I've never been to another school. There are frat parties like any college. I think it's good. I don't know. Oh, this is a good question. Are your med school prereqs fitting into my human physiology major, or are you having to take additional courses? That is the wonderful thing about human physiology, is you really don't have to take any additional courses. Besides, you have to look at your individual school and see if they require anything, because some schools require stats. Carly is wondering, since she is going to college next year, is there anything super necessary that she needs to pack or bring? I actually made a video all about this, and I think it's a really helpful video full of just random stuff you need to bring, so I'll link that down below. How do I deal with homesickness? I live about 2 hours away from the university, so anytime I'm like seriously homesick, I could just go home, which is really great. And honestly, when I'm at school, I'm not homesick at all. The only time when I'm homesick is when I go home. How time demanding is being in a sorority? I would say it's pretty time demanding. I have to go to chapter once a week, and there's a bunch of sisterhood events that you want to be involved in. For my sorority, I have to get 10 hours of community service and be involved in 2 campus activities. It's a time-consuming thing, but for me personally, I think it's really rewarding. I'm doing all the requirements alongside of my friends. Okay, we're getting towards the end of the questions. This is a great question because I feel like a lot of people are wondering this. Is the honors college at the University of Oregon a good investment, or is it not worth it? She has heard both opinions. So my friend Elle is actually in the honors college, and we are both human physiology majors, so I've gotten the opportunity to kind of compare and contrast our experiences. I personally am very happy that I'm not in the honors college. If you ask Elle, she'll say the same thing. She talks a lot about that the honors college is a great option if you're thinking more about history or literature, but it's not really beneficial for science majors. You can honestly graduate with honors within the human physiology department. There's not so much of a need to go into the honors college thing. It's pretty complicated. It's more expensive. Sometimes it can be more stressful. You have to write a thesis. Of course, it does look better on an application, but for me personally, I'd rather have a high GPA and have a little bit more freedom on the classes that I'm able to take. Okay, that was a lot of questions, and I'm sorry. Okay, so the next question is, what airport do I fly out of to go home? I obviously just drive home because it's 2 hours away, so I take the bus, and it's pretty inexpensive, but I have been flying a lot for ski team, so I actually fly out of the Eugene airport even though it's more expensive, and I've had a lot of issues with the Eugene airport. Did I bring my car with me when I went to school? No, because the parking permits here are really expensive and the parking is super limited. Final question is from Katie, and she is wondering, what has been the highlight of this school year and what are your goals for next year? This is an awesome question, Katie. Highlight of this school year has been feeling really accomplished. My goal for next year, I think I want to meet more people next year. Thank you guys so much for sticking around for this video. It means so much to me. I hope I answered all of your guys' questions. Please comment anything else that you're wondering down below. I'm gonna go finish my chem lab report and study for my midterm, and it's gonna be a good day. That's all for today. I will talk to you guys next week. Go college, go Ducks, bye.